The method on how you capture the data is very important in order to avoid errors and get accurate results. Firstly, you need to set up the equipment needed for the experiment to take place. This means the quantity of cameras. Also, you have to think about perspective error, so the distance the cameras are in relation to the participants and the angle that they are in order to capture the data you need in regards to what skill the athlete is doing and what plane and axes that athlete is performing the skill in. It is important that you set the equipment up hours before the participants arrive so that you can sort out any problems before you capture the data. Otherwise, errors could occur given inaccurate data. It is vital that the data is recorded accurately because that way the athlete can see the angles of their body when doing the skill and then can try and replicate these angles if the skill was performed well, so that in the future when they perform the skill they can perform it to their best ability. But if the skill wasn't performed well, then they can see what angles of their body they need to change to get the skill right. For more accurate data, you would use Vicom cameras for a 3D video, and that way you can look at every angle of the participant's movement, as 2D imaging doesn't give you as much detail as a 3D video data would. The detail of the images captured depends on the frame rate and the shutter speed. A slow shutter speed means less detail, however, a faster shutter speed means more accurate results. But to get these results, a lot of light needs to be absorbed by the camera through every captured shot. A high frame rate captures detailed movements. Horizontal scaling is making sure that the whole of the participants' motions are in the video when it is being filmed, because otherwise you can't analyse the athlete's data properly and give feedback on how they can improve if you don't have the whole of their movement. Triangulation is important as the camera should be perpendicular to the participant. In connection to this, the tilt and pan and the roll of the camera is important, as if not correct, could affect camera angles shown on the data that are different to the actual joint angles shown on the participants, which means the data will give inaccurate readings. Vertical reference system is something that holds the camera steady when capturing someone's movements in one motion. Force plates are one way of measuring the force the participants are exerting during braking force and propulsive force during a sprint. They run along the plate, and the force that the plates read give an indication to the participants on what part of their running technique they need to improve on in order to have more acceleration. But when using force plates, it is very important that they get recalibrated to get very accurate readings. Also, not all of the participants would be used to running over the plates, so you should let them familiarise themselves with it first. You should do some practice runs so that you capture their normal running action when actually doing the test, and this will give you the most accurate results. Also, you have to take into consideration of ecological validity, as the skill being performed is not in the context of a basketball game, as the players don't have the ball to dribble with and there are no other athletes contesting against them. I will be analysing the participants' data in more detail in 6.4, but we collected data for the participants' acceleration and velocity rates across 20 metres and then 40 metres. In addition, the data we recorded was in 2D imaging, and we also used the force plates to establish their impulse at a given time for braking and propulsive force during a 5-metre sprint.